So I've had a lot of stuff going on, but I was able to. Sorry, I'm a day late for this live, and I'm a couple hours late. But here we are. Here we are. You there, Spike? Hi, everybody. Okay, so I'm not really going to have time to say hello to everybody, so I'm saying hello to everybody right now, and thanks for the support. So yesterday, I blocked out a couple pieces of driftwood with my chainsaws, with my little Echo 2511, because there's tons of sand in this and it dulls the chain. And I got another one right there, so with my sweaters on. So we'll see if we can carve one or two. I'm going to do my best to carve really slow. And just let me have a sip of coffee and carry on. I'll show you guys what tools I'm going to use. I have to keep the tent closed because I got the propane heater on in there because that Kutzall is still not dry. It's too humid in that tent in the wintertime. I'll never Kutzall or spar earth in the winter again. I got the tree house, all the bottom where it went milky, the spar earth in, I got it all sanded off the other day. And I got a sliver in my thumb I'm trying to get at. So here's, I believe, the necessary tools for chainsaw carving. First of all, you need a chainsaw with a carving bar. I'd say just get a steel or Echo or whatever you want. And then you need a die grinder. This is a die grinder. This is the Meetaboat. Or this is the good kicking ass grass. This is the most powerful, fastest Makita die grinder. This is the GD0800C. Okay, this is not a cheap die grinder, but this one is powerful. It's this Meetaboat one is the same power as this Makita one. They both have speed control. You don't need to get this expensive one. You can start off with just a cheap die grinder. It will last you a year or so till you get better using tools like this. Then you can upgrade it. The good Makita has a black rubber handle on it. It's not as good as this one. I don't know the model of it. So you need a die grinder. You need a drill. You need a sander. This is a sanding pad I made of old belt sander. It's going to be pretty. This is pretty hard stuff, but it's going to be pretty rough to start sanding. But so you see it's on a mandrel. You can use ready rod. I got lots of videos out on that. And you need a Dremel and a grinder with a sanding disc on it. This is 3 inches. These sanding discs have backers on them. You see that rubber thing? That's a backer. So you need the backer, then you need the sanding disc. And I suggest to sand fast, get like 36 or 40 grit. And a torch. That's all you need. All you really need is a chainsaw, some type of Dremel rotary tool. It doesn't have to be a Dremel, it can be a knockoff, and a die grinder. And this will help too. And a drill. I like this DeWalt drill because it's the most affordable one and it spins the fastest. It's on Amazon. DWD115 is the model number. Okay, I got lots of videos how to make this stuff. Anyways, does that cover that? Does anybody have any questions? Have a good day, Herman. Does anybody have any questions? I'm just going to say hello to everybody. I don't have time to say hello to every single person. Just hello everybody at once. I'm only going to respond to questions without sounding rude. And I got a little sliver in my thumb. It's driving me nuts. And today, I'm going to be running this little Echo. Call it the Ryan Cook saw. CS2511P with an 8-inch dime tip Forester bar on there. They're not making these bars anymore, I don't think, or something happened. But this is an 8-inch. You can get the Cannon, an 8-inch Cannon, with a 50 gauge quarter pitch chain. Both these pieces are old Western red cedar. This one is super thin. Look how thin it is. This is as brown as cedar will get. It's a piece of driftwood. So, super thin. But we're going to carve a wood spirit or a funny face or something on it. And I'm going to try my best to go slow so people kind of get what's happening. And I got to clear the... Hello, can you guys see fine? So what you need to do is you want to decide, I already got this cut out. You need to decide where you want to put your eyes. So let's just, we've got a big knot right here. So let's put our eyes lower than that knot. And have a center line. You guys see that? Center line down here, then my eyes across. Now let's try and make this, this is just a wood spirit I'm putting in the spirit trails. Let's just, I don't know what kind of wood spirit should I do, everybody. Should I give it a big nose so it sticks really far off the face? Super easy to do when you're already set up like this. Or we can give it a big fat troll nose. Make it long and skinny. You can make it wide and fat. What's best for you guys? I need to get my stool. I can't lean over like this. I need my seat. What's better for you guys, a wide nose, wide or long? Skinnier face, harder to do a wide nose. Wider face, easier to do. Okay, skinnier face, harder to do a wide nose, like wide this way. Easier to do long nose, long skinny nose. Makes sense, right? Scale. So let's do a wide nose. Probably have to cut way back. Can you see that nose on there? It's gonna have a pretty big nose. Forgot to brush my teeth this morning, sorry. Okay, so when I fire up the chainsaw, I'm going to do a cut across here. I'm going to do a cut across, sorry, I'm trying to do it so you guys can see it and I can see it. Cut across the eyes, then notch it out, then cut around the nose, notch it out all the way around the nose. I'll probably cut this forehead back after. You just got to... There's a formula I have, I can do this in 2 minutes, but I just want to do it so you guys can kind of understand a bit better, because when you're using the Dremel, it's different. It's the same theory with Dremel, but when you're using chainsaws, you're taking pieces out at a, you're taking chunks like this out at a time. You're not slowly removing the wood. Okay? Okay. Anyways, try and do my best so you guys can see what's going on. What I did with that cut, I already started swooping the forehead back forward. Like so I know my eyes are going to be here, I can slope this whole forehead back now. So the forehead sloped back already now. So now my nose is really going to pop off from a side view. So it's back this way. Sometimes I gotta get in front of the camera. Just want to show you how I sloped that forehead back. Now look at that nose. nose, you gotta make sure your bar, when you're cutting in the nose with your chainsaw, you gotta make sure your bar is not tilted in towards there, because that will be like an undercut. Your nose will be super thin. So each side of the nose, make sure you hold your bar this way, then that way. Instead of going in, because you gotta carve this nose deeper. If you cut it in towards, if you cut it this way, and just bring it that way a little bit, when you carve your nose thinner, when you carve your nose deeper, it's gonna get thinner. I don't know if that makes sense to you. So I got the nose cut in. Now I'll very carefully go around, and this is different from Dremel. I'll go around, I'll take my bar, I'll cut it around and down here, and I'll go poop, and I'll pop that piece right out. But you gotta make sure when you're doing this that you don't carve into your nose. You gotta watch that gap there. You gotta watch the tip of your bar in that gap, or feel for it. Just like that. Be a funny looking weird skirt. It's gonna look like, it looks like a dickhead wood spirit right now. Mr. Penis Head. Now look at that nose. Because I took that forehead so far back. But so, you see that I already took the forehead back. I took time to take the forehead back. But once you carve that nose, you gotta shape that nose. And you gotta carve it deeper. So you might have to take, I'm talking about if you're trying to go for your nose to stick farthest off the face. Like this. You might have to carve that forehead back again. Just keep on adjusting. Keep on moving things around. Watch from side to side. And if any of this is making any sense or anybody cares, so what kind of mustache do we want to give this one? I've been doing these ones lately. Just kind of the long mustache. So then, I'm just going to do my typical one. So you can see I got the mustache drawn on. Can you guys see it? So I'm going to cut. You're going to see me cut here, then here. Then I'm going to come in, so I'm going to pretend this is my chainsaw bar. Cut here. Then I'm going to cut in for my bevel cut like this, then I'm going to pop it out. Same with the inside. Okay? So, the mustache is in. So, but you see here, I'm going to cut this mustache in deeper down here, and it will make these cheekbones raised up. Always be careful of your nose when you're carving these wood spirits with the chainsaw. Just scooping out the eyes a bit. Okay, I'm going to scoop in the bottom lip. Now here's a good tip. Always look at the bottom, like, always, say if you're doing a bigger wood spirit on a log or something and you're trying to sell it, always go under and look underneath the bottom of the nose, because it's so easy just to forget about it, and it kind of looks shitty if you tilt it on its side. So if you clean up on the bottom side of the nose when you're trying to sell it, when somebody loads it into the back of their truck or the back of their SUV, they won't see some weird shit underneath it. That's just a weird tip, but I could, because I've done some wood spirits where I didn't really focus underneath the bottom of the nose, and well, when the people were putting it in their truck, I was like, oh, that looks like shit. I wonder if they see that. Now this forehead looks weird to me, so this isn't going to be like a typical normal forehead wood spirit. We'll just kind of, well, let's give them some eyebrows, and then we'll do some cuts like this. Just kind of give them like a more natural look, so it doesn't really have a, your wood spirits don't have to have mustaches, they don't have to have beards, they don't have to have eyes, they don't have to have nothing. It's a spirit in the wood. Wazzy's here. Hey Larry. Shoot, Spike, shoot it. Throw it out there, Spike. Larry's been one of my biggest supporters, just like Spike over the years, so Spike's gonna do something here. So I'm going to cut these eyebrows in, then I'm going to go like this. It's hard for me to slow the fuck down when I'm doing this. Okay, so now it looks really weird. I don't know if I liked it before, if I like it better now. But just keep, no problem, Larry. Hey Larry, I know I can be an asshole sometimes, and I'm sorry for being an asshole to you a while back, but I think that's the least I could do for you, Larry. Anyways, before I get all sappy here, let's no, what the fuck do? I fucked it up. This is when things started changing for me, where I was like, well, I fucked it up. Pardon my language to all those people out there with kids watching. So I effed it up. Now what do I do? Well, I can do whatever I want. I can try and make it better. Just like you guys try and make it better. If you think you effed it up, it's not effed up. It's just, what's that saying Bob Ross said? It's just a happy mistake. You just got to look at your piece for a while, kind of like figure it out. I'm just standing behind here looking at it. I'm trying to figure it out. I think I don't know what I think. But I'm telling you right now, when I'm done this, it's going to look like a wood spirit. I think I'm going to cut the eyebrows back more. You know what? I'm gonna go heavy hands here. Sorry. This is what I do when it's a mess. I just go heavy hands and don't care. Look how far that nose sticks off there. That's enough with chainsaw for now. I'm going to pull out my die grinder. It's different, it's unique, and it doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter. As long as you're where you are, having a good time, having fun, trying to make it better the whole time. That's all that really matters in the end. Does anybody have any questions? It's all right, thanks, trees. We'll make it cool. As cool as we can. No questions? Am I free to go? I'm going to put my dust mask on, try and stay in the camera. And I'm just going to shape these eyes a little sockets better. I'm going to shape the nose. I'm going to shape the bottom lip. I got a 1/4 inch Kutzall extreme flame burr on my die grinder. Can you guys see with that shadow on there? Hello, can you guys see? Do you see better when it's sunny or shadow? Anyways. That sandpaper is a little bit aggressive for this wood. I don't know if any of you guys were noticing, but when I carved it, I blew out the nose. So the nose is all weird. It's okay. Looks like a wood spirit to me. So I cut those cheeks in. I could have went for the random wood spirit. Thanks. I could have went for the random wood spirit, but just something different. Now this other piece I got here, I might carve it heavy hands. How long has this live been going for? An hour, 54 minutes. So there is a real skinny face wood spirit. Like I said, I'm just putting these in the spirit trails. I'm carving them for free for the community, for everybody to enjoy with love and great happiness to see new carvings in the spirit trails. I got like, I'm gonna have like 6 or 7 new well, probably about 10 to put in there. Bring the peace to the world. Walk the spirit trails, everybody. Walk the spirit trails. Think outside the box and enter if you believe. You must believe. My sales pitch. So I think I'm going to put this out, take the camera off the tripod. And just let me have a little sip of coffee here. You must believe. The truth is out there. The truth is out there. And it's certainly not with our politicians. I'm not getting into politics. Don't go there. Don't go there. So just give me a sec here. Hope everybody's doing grand. So it's hard to do step by step on the chainsaw carvings, especially when you're live. I'm gonna put the other one on here. Hello? Hi there, hello? Hello? I can't see what's going on here. Oh no, my phone's on a My phone's out of life. Oh, it's hot in here. It is like a cooking sauna in here. Do I got any? What's going on in my life? Oh, I only got 5% on my camera. You guys see that shitty wood spirit I just carved out there? Well, I know I can carve whatever I want to carve at this point, and I don't give a shit. I'll keep on carving shitty wood spirits because they're the funnest to do. See, I had to sand all that spur thing off of there, and I fixed up this little owl. This is all for the spirit trails, spirit trails, spirit trails, spirit trails. 2 more back there. Anyways, I got no juice left. Phone's gonna die. I'm gonna have to end it here, everybody. I'm sorry, I got no charger that will go out to my tent. This seatall's still wet on the bottom. So I got this fan up there. I got this fan blowing the warm air down to the bottom. My friend's gonna come pick this up maybe once we get a nice day of weather. I gotta respar this. It is a sauna in here. I am sweating. I've already lost 5 pounds. Get rid of this shit. See, I wanted to carve this one live too, but I'm gonna have to cut it short here. I gotta do this log here. There's your burls up there, Larry. Some of your burls. But I gotta carve a big eagle in this log for the spirit trails too, for a friend that passed away. Anyways. See how I cut these cheekbones in? Fuck it! I totally blew that nose out, so fuck it. You must believe, everybody. You must believe. To enter the spirit trails, you have to look with